Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Hey everybody, it's Will.
And this is Thomas.
And we're back at the virtual spinner rack for another book that continues in another book. It's almost like I picked it. Thomas showed me like 4 books last week. He goes, pick one. I go, that one.
It's a damn.
Something happens at the end of the book that is continued in
the next book.
Star of this book's actual book.
But now I'm gonna tell you, dude, I'm talking about that. I miss it so much. Where you would read a comic when we pull it off the damn spinner rack, be like, check back next month or whatever in this book to see what else happens. And you'd read all kind of crap that you would never pick up because you had to finish the story. And
yeah,
they don't do that no more.
Nope. What they do is they will tell one stretched out story in like all 37 different titles for Batman, 15 titles for Superman, or the 6 Justice League titles. And the same goes for Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man has almost as many as Batman. I'm like, no, thank you.
No, I just did my pre-orders about an hour ago before the show, and I'm like, I'm not reading all this stuff. So I'm like, unless I'm reading it or I'm excited about it, I cut it out. And I ordered Batman. That was it. I ordered, I don't even order Spider-Man anymore. But I just ordered one Batman. I ordered no Superman books. I ordered none of the extra Batman books, the 27 other books or whatever the hell it is they publish. I ordered just Batman. That was it.
Like, I saw something that looked, because I follow my buddy Chris from another comic show. Matter of fact, going on right now tonight. And for the life of me, I can't remember the damn name of the show.
Oh, Lord.
And I used to be a mod on it until I quit. I had to quit showing up because I was here. So
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'd rather be here. Lost in Comics.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Sorry about that. So he does like short form videos. Like he'll show like his haul for the week, and then announce like his top 3 books.
Yeah.
And then he'll come back after, and he'll like read. He'll get like a stack like this. He'll read them all like in like a day and a half.
Yeah.
Like whip through them. He's a really fast reader. I like to take my time because I'm slow. I'm like a retard in a comic store.
Oh God. I used to read that many in a week or something, and it's just I don't have time anymore. It's like crazy. Yeah. I have so much else that monopolizes my time. I will show you. Did I send you the link for the new upcoming Variant Hulk comic?
Is that the one that's down here?
Yes.
Let's take a look at it.
Dude. Okay, this is the variant cover. I normally don't buy variant covers, but sometimes you have to buy a variant cover. This is freaking awesome.
That it makes me think of the that big key that the Steranko cover with him holding his name up.
Yes. Only, I mean, I shared it with I showed it with some other guys, and they're like, yeah, the Hulk's, definitely breaking the fourth wall here. He's coming out of the book toward you, but it's just, dude, it's not only the art's amazing. It's just, this is frameable to me. This is
Yeah.
just awesome. I
Oh
own
yeah.
this and a regular copy, and I'll probably see if I can frame this and find some place to put it or whatever. But it's,
Yeah.
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. I'd like to get this.
Um,
But like I talk to various like shop owners online all the time now.
yeah,
But all the shop owners I talk to, all they do is sell back issues. They don't they
really,
don't they don't carry new or do anything like that because as far as Western books are concerned, nowadays the minus the speculators, watching Comic Tom and Golden Age Guru and all those guys uh, that are like making 30 videos a week telling everybody what they should buy if they want to. This book's going to be hot. You need to buy this book. And when I have money and I listen to them, I buy the book, and it was hot the day it got released for about 2 hours, and then somebody trashed it on Reddit or something. And now I just spent like $15 for a book that's not worth 50 cents. I'm like, nope, not doing it no more.
well, and that's the thing. I mean, I don't have a local comic shop, so I buy, online for a discount.
Yeah.
I do know a handful of shops that don't carry new issues; they only carry back issues. And I see the benefit of it because, I mean, honestly, a lot of shops pay pennies on the dollar for books, and then they turn around and sell them for, crazy amounts of money. And so it's more profit. They don't have as much going out. But the problem with that too is to me, it's slowly killing the industry because, I mean, that's their business, whether they want to know. Like one of the guys I'm thinking of that runs a shop that does this is an older guy, and he's I don't say he's on his way out, but he's on his way out. This is his retirement job. When he's done, he's gonna go home and kick it up and watch TV. And the thing is you got readers like us, and then everybody talks about bringing new readers in, but if you keep killing the industry, it's going to go out. Now, is the industry part of it? Jesus, dude, I looked at Dynamite and Boom today and IDW, and they have, especially Dynamite. Dynamite is terrible. I mean, every comic has 30 variant covers.
Yeah, they've always done that.
I know, but I mean, it just gets
Like
to the point.
I remember when Dynamite first came out, I go, oh, that's a cool name for a publisher. And I was excited because they were doing Vampirella.
Yeah.
They weren't doing Vampirella right, but they were still putting out Vampirella. I go, cool covers and the cosplay covers and everything.
Yeah.
I was working at the shop at the time, and within a year, we lost like 20 customers who became Dynamite fans, as something different to read along with like the regular books. And they got so exasperated with it because at the beginning, there were 10 covers for every book they released.
Yeah, it's at least it's probably more than that now.
They got so much poison in their system from that they quit altogether. Some of them just turned around and said, if I bring my whole collection in here, will you give me cash for it? And of course, he never buys anything.
Yeah.
So he would send them to like some other stores. He goes, well, call this one, call that one, call this one. He goes, I'm currently not buying. They'd walk out the door. I go, you're currently never buying.
Yeah.
He's like, I spent enough money when I had to buy the store from the owner, and I had to. He said, this is how much the store is. Oh, and this is how much all my back stock is.
Yeah.
It was like, so he had to buy out the back stock and basically purchase a business that he had been working at for like 20 years to it was either that or go get a real job.
Well, I mean, the thing about that is you can run a business, run a comic book shop, but it's if you're not actively driving the community and there, because I've been I've been in really good shops, I've been in poopy shops, whatever. There's one shop I go to in Macon. It's really great. It's not 2 hours from me, and the guys are always happy to see you. They want to talk, tell you what's good, what people are buying. They actively buy that kind of stuff, and it's growing. But then you go in another shop where they're not buying new issues and they don't do that stuff. They're just there to sell a product. They don't care about the product, and you can see them going down. And I'm like, this is crazy. Savannah's got a number of shops like that, and I just don't.
Well, there's another shop in Mass here that I'm friends with the owner. Well, one of the owners. It's like a multiple partnership.
Yeah.
And they don't have like a back issue section to speak of.
Yeah.
Like they'll keep up to like, and they don't care, the condition of the books. They'll keep like up to like the last 4 months on the shelf. And if they're not selling from people missing a month or two, and they come and they grab some stuff while kids grab it off the shelf, they throw it in long boxes afterwards, and they haul it to the convention, and they set up like all these dollar boxes.
Yeah.
At the con, the only thing they actively buy are like gold and silver back issues, but basically just keys.
Yeah.
Like, major and minor keys. So, I mean, back when before I got sick, I'd go in there like every couple of months because it was like, almost a 2-hour ride to get to the shop from where I lived at the time. And, take my daughter out for the car ride. We'd go. We'd look around. She'd look around. I'd let her pick out, a couple of kids' comics. And she would point out stuff that she knew that I liked. And I would buy, once in a while, I'd buy something, if you had a sale on figures. If there was like a cool, like the old style, like Marvel Legends that were, on the shelves at the Toys R Us stores, and they would buy them like secondhand or whatever. And but they get like and most of the stuff they bought was all still like packaged.
Oh, sweet.
So once in a while I buy like a cool figure from them once in a while. Maybe like a cool, like, superhero style, like mini or whatever. And then they started getting like real expensive, like import things in. And I saw like this wicked cool Joker figure. Hey, how much is this Joker figure over here? He goes, oh, that one's $75.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope.
It's medicine time.
But every time I went in, I would always buy 1 or 2 wall books off them.
Yeah.
Always had great wall books. Like I bought an Amazing Spider-Man, remember the Blue Cyclone? He was like in one issue of ASM back in the 80s, the late 70s, early 80s.
Maybe. Probably if I see the cover, I'd remember it.
Yeah. I bought it off the spinner rack. So I used to have it when I was a kid, and he had like a really nice copy of it. But I would pick like 2 or 3 wall books with everything else that I would pick up. And because my regular LCS, they won't carry like, multiple variant covers. He does with Dynamite only because Dynamite doesn't ask you what cover you want so much. Is you just, order X amount of copies of like Vampirella 40 or 20, whatever. And they'll just mix up,
What are you looking for?
His meds.
It's over there by the by the sink, in there between the sink and the stove. So they don't even tell you which ones you order, and you just get them randomly.
You kind of get them randomly because the They're not like like a 1 in 20 cover or anything. Nothing like that. But they're just like all the covers are like evenly distributed. But if you only order like 3 copies of the book, you get cover A, B, C.
Yeah.
And they just go down the line to that way they're like and then you got to hope that you have the cover that person wanted. But if he would tell people, he goes, yeah, I want the 1 in 100 Deadpool #1. He goes, okay, that'll be $3,000.
Yeah, because you got to buy enough to get that damn
Because
comic.
you have to. I have to buy and sell. Well, can't you sell them? No, I can't sell that many. I've got 500 customers, and I'd have to buy 2,000 copies of that book.
Okay, so talking about craziness. Okay, so all right, Dynamite has a comic coming out, Vampirella Dead Flowers. It's in the pre-order, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, they have got for Vampirella Dead Flowers. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 covers for that book. And of them, half of them get to 10, or so you get some 10 copy incentive covers. There's a 15 copy incentive cover, a 20 copy incentive cover, and that was it. I was just like, whoa. Oh, and then here's a metal premium cover, and then here's a limited virgin cover.
Oh yeah, it's like they're like a Kickstarter campaign with the releases every month. It's like you have to order like massive amounts of books to carry those covers. The only people that can do that are places like Mile High, or what's the store in New York?
Oh, Midtown,
yeah.
there's a store in Florida that's like that. Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
They carry huge. They're a huge. They're like 6 Coliseum comic book shops all around Central Florida.
Yeah, so they can make like one huge order to their main branch, and then file through them and then distribute them to like all their stores.
So the craziness. Okay, now this is Hulk. Hulk is not as bad as the other ones, but so the new Hulk 5 has 1 cover. It's got a main cover,
mm-hmm.
and they are 1, 2, 3. They are 3 variant covers, so 4 covers total.
Mm-hmm.
Still that's bad, but still not as bad as 16. Fantastic Four has 3 covers. Ghost Rider looks like it has 2 covers.
What they do? Bring back Danny Ketch again?
This is. It's not. Oh, well, they did, but it's not him. This is the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, the one on the motorcycle.
Yeah. Sorry, but if you call yourself Ghost Rider and you're not on a motorcycle.
Thor has got 1, 2, 3, 4 covers. They've got another series called Marvel's doing called White Widow or something, which was like Black Widow's cousin or sister or something. I can't remember her name now. Some craziness.
The one the other widow from the movie there.
Yeah, but now she's in the comics. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of it. 4 different variant covers. One of them's going to be an Art Germ variant, so it's going to look like every other Art Germ variant in the history of the world.
Yeah. Pretty but boring. Pretty boring.
I'm like, oh my god. Anyway, so enough of that. I know we're starting to sound like old people.
Dynamite. Like if you want to read Dynamite, like I would have it easy if I wanted to go back and start collecting Dynamite again. I would just, tell like whatever shop I was going to get them from. I want because Limsner that created Dawn is the Dynamite poster boy for cover artists.
Yeah, he does like one for every book. He does a Red Sonja,
Yep.
Vampirella, Betty Page. He does
All of them, yeah.
All of them, yeah.
So I would be like, okay, well, I want to collect this, and this, but I only want the JML covers. And if they say, who's JML? I'm like, never mind. I'll keep looking for a shop.
Damn it.
I'm like, because I really like the Deja Thoris, John Carter stuff.
Yeah, some of that's really nice.
Yeah. Especially when Linsner draws Deja Thoris.
Yeah. So
his wife is his model.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, so like you notice like the bodies all look the same, and the same kind of proportions.
That's because that's because the model is the same for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so like was it like 2 weeks ago? I told you I had bought some books, and I was waiting on them to, or I sent the dude an offer. I was waiting on him to approve it. He finally approved it and sent the books, snail mail, and they came in. So I got more books I would have never read when I was younger, but so I got Spider-Woman 40.
Nice.
Yeah. Dude, the art is amazing on this one. Spider-Woman 41.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Woman 46.
Cool.
Talking about variant covers, I had never seen this one and thought it was a cool variant. This is, I think it was Campbell.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So I bought it, and then I bought this one because I love the cover, and I was thinking like, God, we need to do this issue one day. I don't even know what the hell it's about. A rock fable.
A rock fable. Steal this planet.
Yeah.
I remember that cover though.
Well, I don't know if you remember the cover or something similar, because I was like, oh my God, this is normally it's like the Barbarian movie.
It wasn't that. It was Krull.
Yeah, Krull, Conan, whatever. But it's always got the guy standing, and now we got a girl, and then the guy down here holding her leg.
Yep.
And then I got this one, which we had talked about. The guy said, yeah, go ahead. I offered him like, I don't know, $15 or something for it.
Nice.
And it's the hardcover. Now, the only thing, have you read this?
I only ever got the first issue.
Okay. Well, the first issue is pretty much your standard comic book. Okay. Yeah. You get to the back end, the later issues, and I understand Moore is a genius, but it switches.
Oh.
Dude, like pages and pages of handwriting. Little bitty handwriting.
Oh my God.
And then we got typeface.
I'm gonna have to write to Sleepy Joe and borrow the Hubble telescope.
Oh my God! Look at this.
It just gets smaller as you go.
So I've never read it. I think I've got one issue, and it's something I've wanted to read. They say it's really good, but I was like, oh my God, this is like a lot of reading for a comic book.
What was funny is I bought that issue 1 from a shop located in Providence.
Did you draw in this book?
No, that's probably the genius at work.
Look, Dicatolo, there he is.
Nice.
And then I was putting up books, and I found some more. I don't know if I ever showed you these. I got this one at a convention a while back. What you looking for?
Oh, nice.
And then We need to read this one because this one's actually written by Stan Lee. I think we talked about this last week. I pre-ordered the Atlas Stan Lee horror books. There's one.
Was it written by Stan Lee, or did Stan Lee just slap his name on it and steal somebody's book?
I don't know. We're gonna hope he wrote it. And then I did find this too.
Weird Fantasy.
15.
Nice.
4 stories in it, and it's a reprint, obviously, but 4 stories, and 2 of them are by Wally Wood.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I found cleaning up and then got from the auction.
Very nice. I cleaned this up.
Uh-oh.
Okay, my girlfriend cleaned this up. And my hand is too big to fit in it anymore, but...
My God, where the hell did you find that?
I had this one and a Captain America. Somebody gave me $75 for the Captain America.
Really?
Yeah. And then complained about my packaging. I folded it up like this, wrapped it in bubble wrap, and put it in like one of those small boxes. You almost crushed his head. I go, I almost drove to your house and kicked your ass. What's your point? And the cap was still in the original packaging, though. The little cellophane bag with the little hook to hang up on the thing.
Oh, my God.
What's cool about those, you take a paper towel tube and you basically cut it like a little, in half. And you can just put it like right in the middle and he'll just like, stand on it.
Stand on it.
Yeah, that's cool. My very good friend John Mulhern gave me that. He was cleaning out his attic. He goes, I know you love this stuff. And I'm just kind of like, meh. It was cool when I played with it when I was a kid, but you can have it. He gave me a Batmobile, Mego Batmobile.
Oh, sweet.
A Mego Batcycle, and you can tell it's a Mego Batcycle because the sidecar is broken up, like they all do. Gave me his beat up Superman, so the emblem's missing in the boots, and a Green Arrow, which is not complete because Green Arrow came with the bow, the quiver, the hat. So he doesn't have the quiver or the bow, but I think he has the hat. And the Spider-Man, where they ran out of the red hands, so they just put the normal flesh tone hands on him. Hey, we're running out of pots. Just use the regular ones.
Damn it. They won't notice.
He also gave me the original, the novel of the original 78 Battlestar Galactica, like the 2-part pilot that they made the movie out of. And also a never used Battlestar Galactica board game from the 70s.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So I'm just going to read the thing for the Fire and Ice game. It's role-playing combat board game, debuts on Kickstarter. This just came out like yesterday. Dynamite Entertainment announces a thrilling collaboration with 10 different box covers. No, I'm kidding. For a chance to role-play and have fun in this wondrous world. Bless you. Bless you. Gamers are able to support and reserve their copy of the game right now on Kickstarter with exclusive add-ons and early bird extras. Fire and Ice was released in theaters 40 years ago, and the legendary team-up between animation innovator Ralph Bakshi, Fritz the Cat, Lord of the Rings, Wizards, and the godfather of fantasy artwork, Frank Frazetta. Additionally, the screenplay was written by Roy Thomas and Jerry Conway. Dynamite has brought back the exciting world and mysterious characters for a new comic series. Thank you for ordering that for me, by the way. And the celebration continues in this new game. there's there's character cards to go with it, like for Dark Wolf. There's a Kickstarter exclusive mini, and I'm not sure who the character is, but I can share it. There it is. That's the.
I have no idea.
No, I think it's like one of the headhunters or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And there's like the Dark Wolf card. I don't know what any of these numbers mean, but I know they all mean something different. Obviously, this one is health, and that's going to be power. Probably how far you can travel, maybe insight and defense.
Yeah.
But I mean, it looks cool.
I just had somebody that was around and wanted to play any RPGs. I bought the old school RPG off of Kickstarter and hadn't done a thing with it. I looked at it. That was it.
That was it.
Yep.
So you've got like the map that comes with it, like all the tokens and stuff.
Yeah.
And here it is. Let's take a quick look at the trailer, and then we'll dump into the book. Dive into the book.
Say today trailer. Today.
Oh yeah.
Did it load?
Whoops. Okay. Hold on. That's what I did wrong. It took me to another page. I was like, huh? That's Frank Frazetta's granddaughter.
Years ago, two of the greatest visual storytellers of the 20th century, visionary director Ralph Bakshi and my grandfather, the godfather of fantasy art, Frank Frazetta, brought together a talented array of creators to bring Fire and Ice to life. Now, for the first time, you and your friends have the opportunity to immerse yourselves into the fantastical world populated by lavish landscapes, mighty warriors, sensual femme fatales, and unbridled primal fury. Welcome to Fire and Ice.
Fire and Ice, Miniatures Adventure Game, is a tactical skirmish game for 2 or more players. In this competitive war game, the heroes of Firekeep battle the diabolical forces of Icepeak for dominion over the realms of men and beasts, bringing Frank Frazetta's unfettered primal imagination to life by allowing players to become a part of the ferocity, action, and romance that was infused into every canvas he touched, and that he and Ralph Bakshi brought to Fire and Ice. The world of Fire and Ice is rich and lavish, dripping with creative energy set against a primordial backdrop filled with the sort of savagery that stirs the imagination. Fire and Ice Miniatures Adventure Game recreates the combat and maneuvering found in the animated masterpiece, but puts the magic, the steel, and the cunning in your hands. This is an ancient world scattered through ruins.
Oh,
of
that's
kingdoms
who
and
that
civilizations
exclusive figure
that have
was, the
risen and
witch.
fallen over centuries. This is Fire and Ice.
I forgot that the music was annoying.
Oh, I love the music.
It's okay in doses, but
Yeah,
they
like
keep,
when you're watching the movie. But
yeah,
not,
but they keep running it on loop. They
yeah.
even do that in part of the movie.
If you're going to kill the Ice Lord, boy, you better learn to live with pain.
That's a great line.
Damn it.
But yeah, that let's see. And of course, merchandising. The first thing you can purchase isn't even the game. It's a set of 9
Posters.
Fire and Ice trading cards for $25. The early bird Fire and Ice core game is $75. If you want the $25 set of cards, but you want it signed, it's now $80. Sinkevich's Fire and Ice lithograph for $90. Fire and Ice Virgin Art metal cover, $100. Holofoil, $125. CGC signed Fire and Ice Frazetta cover, $200. Obviously, it's not Frazetta that signed the cover because
No.
it might be a Frazetta, but it won't be the Frazetta.
No.
Retailer exclusive. You can buy 6 games for $270. Signed Fire and Ice Sinkevich's gel cell, $700. I'm
Good
like,
God.
I go, Bill, I don't like you that much.
Yeah, I mean, I love Bill, but I'd have to say I don't know if I love him that much.
I might love you like $7 for, maybe $15 for an autograph, but
It's
like,
gotta be more than that.
he was the one because I've got the old like 25th anniversary Superman portfolio,
Yeah.
and there was a piece in there from him, and I brought it with me to Boston Comic-Con to get him to sign it. He wouldn't talk to anybody unless they were purchasing something, like a full page of art for like $3,000,
Good God.
and he would only sign stuff that you bought from him. And
Well, there's something to be said for that because there's a bajillion Stan Lee signatures.
yeah, I almost ripped up the plate in front of him and just tossed it in the air as I walked away.
Damn it.
It's for ages 13. It takes 60 to 120 minutes to play. So, 2+ players. So, 2 of us are playing. It's probably going to be like, an hour game.
Yeah.
Then after that, we'll have to, have some cocoa and take a nap because we're old.
The art's good though.
Oh God. 2 ways to play. It's both miniature board game and rules light RPG. Oh,
Yeah.
So the kiddie version.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the witch, the one that like died because Necron's guys killed her
Yeah.
because she lost Tigra. Speaking of which, can I get a life-size Tigra? This is the Kickstarter exclusive. And it comes with like the exclusive cards and everything. So this is probably like if this is on like say Indiegogo too, this is probably like the only way to get this figure
Dang it.
and be able to play that character. Early bird special free for all backers of the Fire and Ice core game for the first 5 days of the campaign. So it's still available now. Bonus Fire and Ice 1, digital comic for all Kickstarter backers. Please stop by your local comic shop and find the next issue, or have your friend order it through CBCS. Well, I mean, look at the art inside, though.
It does look pretty good.
Yeah. There will be hero and villain miniatures unlocked for stretch goals, and there's probably they said like there's a lot of. Oh, look at Tigra! Damn, I love this movie. Larn, the head caveman, the second head caveman. It's got a little history. And there's Bakshi and Frank.
Oh.
Now it almost seems like an ad for Geico.
So easy a caveman can do it.
Yeah. Yep. Dark Wolf, Tigra, Larn, Manga, and 8 other subhumans. Board game and role-playing game in one. So yeah, you can either play the board game or you can play the RPG.
Either one, yeah.
So you get the dice, you get the rule book, cards, all these punch-out tokens. Those are always fun. You know what that means? I need some Ziploc bags.
Yep.
Cards.
All that crap back in.
Yeah. 54 event cards. 12 activity cards. 10-sided ice dice and 10-sided fire dice.
Also known as red and blue.
Yes, thank you. And like a cool like grid map, so that's pretty neat. 12 32 millimeter miniatures. So my next question is, who do we know that can accurately and really well paint my miniatures when I get them? Which is probably the reason why I haven't opened up my Batman Dark Knight Returns, because I've got all the miniatures in there.
Really?
Holly, Subhuman Priestess, free-for-all backers on the core game, but only for the first 5 days of the campaign. So you'd have to
pay for it now.
Kickstarter doesn't collect until the end of the until we already know that it's already funded. They've made almost $32,000 in like a day.
Yeah.
Praise for Fire and Ice and blah blah. Good looking pieces.
Yeah, the figures look really nice.
They're like this big.
Millimeters, so they're like this big. They're not big at all.
They're not as big as they appear on the screen. I'm sorry. Stretch goals. You get at 100K, they're going to release a Fire Keep game board and dice.
Oh, sweet.
So it's basically an extension of the game.
Yeah, you get to you play and you get to the keep and the game's over with. And now if you get to the $100,000, you get to the keep, you can actually go inside. Yeah.
And then there's these 4 monk-looking characters to be released at the next stretch. So a set of 4, and then 1 and another one, and this has
the board.
Yeah. More subhumans. The bad guy's mother, from the looks of her.
Yeah, they've got all this crap planned out. They're just waiting to get there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having some of those as a poster, though. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So, but that looks cool.
All right, ready?
Here we go.
Captain Marvel #4, Enter the Submariner.
Yeah.
I've got a handful of these because, and the covers are similar, where Submariner's fighting somebody. I've got the other one where he's fighting Iron Man. I got to read. That's in Submariner, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
But this is from 1968, copyright 68. Stan Lee's our editor. Roy Thomas was the writer, and Gentleman Gene Colan was the artist. Inked by Coletta and lettered by I Wannabe.
Yep. I want to be paid for typing letters into a computer and say I'm a letterer.
Yep. Marvel's spaceborne superhero, Captain Marvel, the alien and the amphibian. I have not read a whole lot of early Captain Marvel stuff.
No, me neither.
And I've picked up some here and there. So we do know he's a Kree warrior. He pretty much looks like he's human, and he's here, from what I know and remember, just scouting out the planet to see, what the hell the Earth people are going to do and if they're going to pose a threat to the Kree Empire. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay. And he is, the story opens with our hero here. He's just going through the damn, doldrums because he's become a hero on Earth. And he's actually more like a double agent because even though he's a hero on Earth, he's to make sure that the Earthlings stay in their place and don't move out in the galaxy and threaten the Kree Empire and maybe destroy the Earth if necessary. Yeah. So, I mean, he's kind of locked in the damn, a rock and a hard place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My hand deals the fatal attack. But yeah. So he's like freaking out. And he's monologuing here because, why should the fate of one tiny world out of all the infinite cosmos plague me so? Am I not a man of the Kree? And he's like freaking out. And he's, okay, perhaps I've been stricken with that strangest and most treacherous of emotions, a conscience. Dude, you're probably going to be like, today's society, only like 1 of 10 people that have a conscience. So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And,
it's all good.
Yeah. He,
good.
Dude, he is so upset. He just like tears up the damn desk in his room. And of course, when he hears that, does that, somebody knocks at the door. Of course, and he's like, oh God, it's somebody at the door. I can't let them see me in my Kree uniform. So he puts on his damn, do what?
I was talking to my girlfriend, not you.
Okay. So he puts on his damn night coat and goes and answers the door. Now,
he's like, whoa, dude, we took it to the next level.
Hi.
So the thing that's funny here is, why in the hell would he write Captain Marvel in the guest book?
That just seems like a silly thing. And then
Yeah.
then he corrected it, but he corrected it. Stan wrote himself into a corner. He goes, he actually fixed that between last issue and this issue.
Yeah, exactly. You don't miss a frame of Marvel.
You close the back cover of last issue, and he flew downstairs and fixed everything.
Yeah, he like erased it or something. So why the hell did they have him write in there with a pen or a pencil? Did he, erase it out or have to mark through it? We'd have to read the last issue. But yeah, so the guy knocks at the door and he opens it, and we find out it's like the guy that helps run the hotel here or wherever he's staying at. I heard a crash. I hope you didn't hurt yourself. Oh, nothing serious. I just knocked over a table. A gazelle I'm not, I'm afraid. Just chalk it up on my bill. So gazelle or not, we do find out that he had a phone call, and he doesn't have a phone in his room. So the guy actually went up there to give him the message. You got a phone call from the Cape, and our lines were all tied up. So they left word for you to get over there right now. So he heads out. And of course, he asks about Mr. Logan there, whatever. He's in a coma at the hospital. He says, yeah, worst of all, nobody's sure just what happened to him. No one except the man who caused it all. So he's debating that. And we find out that Mr. Logan got the hell knocked out of him by the Super Skrull in issue 2. These Skrulls are cool.
Yeah.
Of course, Captain Marvel does manage to save old dude, and he gets him to the hospital. But now, back to our current story, Marvel has to get to the Cape, so they call him, and he works as Mr. Lawson, I think it is his name here, and he actually works at the rocket plant or the rocket base and works on the space station or spaceship. Ugh. Been a long day. So he's got to head over there. Luckily, the soldiers, where is he at? Punishes by death. He's got to head out there. Yeah, there it is. Unless it has to do with the new missile, the Argos 2. So that's why he's going out to look, Argos 3, because the missile's been launched. Now, this cabbie comes around to this damn hotel all the time. He picked him up the other day, and he says he took him so far, and the guy dropped him off, and he let him walk the last half a mile of the base, and he asked him why. So the cabbie asked him why it is, and of course he freaks out. He said, I don't need anyone else getting suspicious about my double identity as Captain Marvel. Come up with an explanation. So the explanation is, the doctor told me to get more exercise. Every damn time I go to the doctor, he tells me to get more exercise. Every time. He says, oh, okay. So I started walking and doing some hiking. So the cabbie's like, no problem. And it does. It makes perfect sense. Hey, no problem. I guess you jockeys, test tube jockeys, don't get much chance for exercise. Not really. So he drives on and the cabbie stops. He's like, why are you slowing down? This is the same spot as last time. Thought you might want to hoof it again. No thanks, cabbie. This time I'm going to go ride all the way. So the cabbie's trying to make a fast one by jumping his ass out, getting his fee, and then heading back. But now, back at our at the missile base here, we see, I did not know she was in this book, but here is Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers, later on. Looking all hot and sexy by Gene Colan. And she is actually questioning whether Lawson is the damn, what's up with him? Not convinced he's quite on the level. He says, I intend to stay that way until a few more pieces of a puzzle named Walter Larson falls into place. She got her powers from him, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember how, but I thought she did. But yeah, so she's like a secretary something on the base, and bookkeeper or whatever. So she's there around everybody, and she has definitely got suspicions that something's going on with him. And we know he's Captain Marvel, but she doesn't. So now we head. So turn the page. They're heading, waiting for Captain Marvel to show up, and she's talking to the general when we find out that the Silver Surfer comes swimming in. He's actually not even going near the dang base. He's heading to New York to find Reed Richards so that he can help him. He's hunting down this bad guy from his own book called Destiny. And you can read all about that in Submariner number 4. Strange how it began. And then, this is Submariner's first appearance is actually in FF. It's like 4. And he made a whole lot of appearances in FF, which is cool. So he's heading there. The missile base has nothing to do with him. And, of course, Lawson shows up, and we flash back to the base. He shows up just in time for the missile to launch. There's like a minute to go. And they're so afraid, the general's so afraid that the rocket's going to be sabotaged that he actually doesn't let them know when they're going to launch until it goes to happen. He holds it to the end. That's why they didn't even, let Lawson know when he needed to be here. They called him and told him when to come. But one minute to blast off and counting. So they get there. This is a cool panel, dude. That's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. So they do the countdown, and the missile takes off. The Argos 3 heads skyward, bearing its cargo of delicate instruments and potential disaster. So we find out that the potential disaster is metallic containers are in the rocket that are lined with test tubes filled with deadly viruses and bacteria. When the Argo gets in orbit, they'll be ejected automatically, and we'll record their reactions to cosmic rays. So they're just doing science experiments, only they're doing it with freaking bacteria and viruses. Of course, as the space, the rocket heads to the orbit, it turns around and crashes back to Earth, and it crashes off the waters of New York City. And then we discover that actually over the Cape in a stationary orbit, it's a spaceship here, which is actually one of the other Kree soldiers that's on the planet. Urog is his name.
Oh, yeah. He's up on the ship.
Yeah, he's on the ship. He's the one that actually sabotaged the freaking rocket and made it crash. Yeah, my superiors on the home planet will be glad that they approve my secret plan. The brainless Earthmen search for their puny rocket, and they'll find it too late. He knows that there's bacteria and viruses and stuff on the rocket. So he wants, the Earthmen are going to hunt for it, and he knows what's going to happen. They're going to eject out, and it's going to kill millions of people. Of course, here's back on the planet, we got Captain Marvel is like, I've already figured it out, what's going on and where the rockets come down, but he doesn't know what the hell's on it. And they tell him, hey, the Argos had various new photographic equipment, inside equipment, we want it back. But to avoid any danger to the populace, a second jettisoning device was attached to the germ-carrying cells. If the first failed to operate, the second would activate independently 3 hours later, sending the deadly bacteria into outer space. So if they weren't able to eject the viruses and bacteria in space and examine them, before the rocket re-entered orbit, it would eject them anyway. So they know they haven't been ejected. The rocket's crashed. In 3 hours, it's just going to spew everything everywhere. So Captain Marvel's like, oh, God, instead of being jettisoned in orbit, they'll be into the atmosphere here and will be a menace to society. So I'm wondering what made the Argos haywire. It could have been Yarog. It seems unlikely. So he wants to actually stop it and kind of save the people. But before he can do that, here comes a boat. Do they say the name of the boat? Sooner Sleep Destroyer or Knife? No, just a destroyer. Comes through the oceans off New York. It's looking for the rocket. And the boat kind of cuts in front of Submariner, and he just thinks that it's there for him. He doesn't know anything about the rocket. That surface vessel is across my path. The air breathers have detected my approach and sought to bar me, even though I come in peace. If so, they shall find that Namor does not need the legions of Atlantis to be a formidable foe. No, he's a badass in the old books, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. So on board the rocket, on board the boat, they're looking for the rocket. And of course, here's Carol Danvers and Captain Marvel and all. And they see Namor swimming out there. So there's Namor. Holy cow, it's a Submariner. What's that fishman doing here? So they see him, and then they decide to, hey, they're going to let him know what's going on. Be here, now hear this, Namor. The waters will be contaminated by deadly bacteria within the sunken missile. We advise you to clear out. And Namor is going to see the FF in New York. So when he hears this, he's like, oh, God, this bacteria is going to get out, and it's going to contaminate New York. So the FF could die. But I got to go save them now because that's the people I need to see. So while he heads there, he's going to try and find the rocket now. But on the ship, Captain Marvel discovers that what's his name? Larog?
Mm-hmm.
Has gained permission to conduct an experiment on the nearby city. So the Kree Empire has given him permission to poison the city and to see how the hell the people do. To gauge its susceptibility to germ warfare, you must allow no one to touch the missile. And they tell him, whatever you do, you can't stop the plane from going ahead. Don't let no one stop the missile from going off. So now Captain Marvel is stuck in a hard rock and a hard place. He wants to save the city. but he's been ordered to make sure the missile goes off and kills everybody.
So now he's going to make it look good.
Yes, he's got to make it look good, and still try and save the city. And of course, he jumps in the water, and he's much stronger than a normal human, so he swims towards Submariner, pretty quickly, and he gets there. And they talk about his strength and everything else,
and the fact that he can't answer Namor because his helmet is only for oxygen provisions. It doesn't allow him to speak underwater or in space.
Yes, he can't talk. He's just like, there he is. And Namor sees him as he's coming. He's like, whoa, dude, this guy's, he's still swimming toward me. But for what reason? And, of course, Captain Marvel's like, I've got to overcome these feelings. I've got to do what my superiors say, but make it look good and try and save the Earth.
Mm-hmm. This is a great page.
Yes, dude, this is awesome. What's bad is in the book, it's like this. It would have almost been better if they would have turned it the other way.
Yeah, made it a double page.
Yeah. Marvel must perform. And he whacks the hell out of Submariner. To the art.
We used to have a guy come into the shop, and little things irk me.
Yeah.
Like unbelievably so. And this guy, he kind of like worked upstairs from the shop, and would come down, and he would like, kind of like the guy you ran into today that would sit there and just keep asking questions all day, every day. But he refused to call Marvel Comics Marvel Comics. He would only call them Marvel Comics.
Wow.
I go, Marvel is a character in Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics is the company.
Yeah.
Marvel is the character. Yeah. But he's dead now, so.
Yep. And he hasn't been brought back yet.
They did one. They did one. I don't think it was the original, but they had like a new one that they called Marvel or Marvel, whatever. In this costume, like about 10, 12 years back. And I bought it. I go, oh, this is cool. And I don't know if it was just reprinting this series.
Yeah.
With new art, or what, but they, at one point it stopped being him, the guy in this costume.
Yeah.
And just started being Carol Danvers.
Like, Carol Danvers. Dang it. So Submariner and Marvel get into this massive ass fight. And of course they keep, this is the cool part you were talking about. If I could only talk underwater with reason to him, but my battle helmet gives me only air for breathing and not for speech.
Yep.
So they just keep going at each other.
In other words, shut the F up and kick some ass.
Yeah. That's about the only way you're going to do it. And they keep, Submariner keeps whacking the hell out of him and telling me how strong he is. But the thing that's cool is I was reading this, and I don't know if you've ever read it. You ever read Avengers 3? That's a no.
Think so.
Okay. In Avengers 3, so the Hulk is a founding member. In the second issue, this not Space Parasite. Maybe it is Space Parasite. I can't remember. Anyway, the space guy, the bad guy in the second issue, looks like the Hulk and convinces everybody that the Hulk is actually the bad guy. And they all turn on the Hulk. Like, dude, you just helped us last issue. So they turn on the Hulk and piss him off. And then finally, after they defeat the space parasite, they're like, okay, well, cool. We're sorry. We, thought you were the bad guy, but you're not. Then by the third issue, they're like, he's the bad guy again. And him and Submariner kind of like get into it with the Avengers. And then they end up fighting each other as well. They like team up against the Avengers. And then by issue 4, the Hulk's left. He's like, I'm tired of you losers. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go back to the damn desert. But there's an issue in 3. There's a scene where Submariner and the Hulk are fighting. And they're on land. And the Hulk is just beating the hell out of Submariner. And finally, the Submariner somehow, I can't remember, drags the Hulk into water. And then when he gets him in there, it's like Aquaman. When the Submariner gets wet, his strength and everything goes up.
Yeah.
And he freaking, he swims around the Hulk so fast, he makes him pass out or something. I'm like, so Captain Marvel, as much of a badass as he is going to be on the losing end of this eventually.
Yeah. Well, if you remember, like the original run of Amalgam with DC and the DC Marvel mashups.
Yeah.
In one of the, because they were like battle books.
Yeah, that's
right?
all it was.
So the second one was actual, stories like Elseworlds kind of things. But Aquaman beat Namor.
Yeah, he drops a whale on him or something.
He drops this giant blue whale, 15 tons of whale on him on the dock.
Yeah.
How the dock didn't break, I have no friggin' clue.
It was in the water. It was stronger than normal.
I mean, if I fall on the dock's probably going to break. At least I'm going to break.
Something's breaking.
And as he's like out cold like this under this big blue whale, Arthur looks back over his shoulder snarkily. Goes, "You lost because you're too regal to cheat."
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Marvel must have wrote that line.
Oh, so yeah. So he's Namor and him are just going at it. He's like, yeah, the Tactless world were nice beneath the foaming waves. Namor must prevail. Dude, he kicks the living shit out of him there.
I got to tell you, this just, in a Marvel book, this just toppled my favorite fight scenes, of course, as you will agree with, are the blue-eyed ever-loving Thing fighting the Hulk.
Yes.
This issue might have topped, like the last one that we read that crossed over and Avengers showed up and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I think this is actually paced out better.
It may be. Yeah, because it's, what is it, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's a good 5, 6 pages. And it is. It's like almost like a damn movie. God. He kicks his ass so hard he knocks him into the rocket. He's like, there's the rocket.
Yes, boys and girls, that's what Prince Namor actually looks like.
Yes.
Not that
not the Minoan guy.
Not that idiot from the Black Panther movie.
Yeah. So now that Captain Marvel's been knocked over, he sees the freaking rocket. He's like, okay, I've got to stop something, Namor's pretty much kicking my ass. And he sees the rocket now, so he's going to use his unibeam, which I guess is his laser rifle. It does something there, to see what he can do. And he zaps Namor with it, kind of blinds him.
Space Ghost's gauntlet. He stole it.
He stole Space Ghost's gauntlet. You shall swiftly find that the Submariner is no babe in arms. And he takes his ass out. This is cool. When Namor grabs him, Marvel actually hits his damn rocket belt, and it ejects air and blows him out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is how he's got to keep his freaking disguise up. After they're blown out of the water, he talks really quickly. He's like, Namor, listen to me. The germs will be ejected in a short time. Let them that your air-breathing enemies may die. He says, no, I'm not. I'm a prince of the blood, not a craven murderer. Mm-hmm. Once your city's destruction might have been my foremost goal, but now I wish not to perish while Namor lives. So Marvel goes back in the water. He's like, okay, cool. They see me fighting him. They couldn't hear what I said. So let's just hope that they realize that I don't stop the damn rocket because they can't see what I'm doing underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he heads there. And Namor, being Namor, can swim faster than anybody else. He makes it to the damn boat, the rocket, way before Captain Marvel, even though he's right behind him.
Yeah, Marvel's like, what the hell?
Yeah, he He was in front of me, behind me. I left his ass in the water, and he still got there before I did. Yeah,
He's like
right.
the Flash of underwater swimming.
Exactly. What he
He's
must
no minnow.
expect that I wanted him to win. He's no minnow, damn it. If Jan Rog is observing from afar, must think I tried to obey orders. The cylinder must be the cylinder that contains that which I seek. Must be turned over to the surface men. So Namor is going to get the cylinder with all the bacteria in it and take it back to the Earthmen. But Marvel doesn't want that to happen. So in kind of like their fight there, he strucks a detonator, which is built in the Argos. And when he does, hey, man.
Starling Captain Marvels are the best.
Yes. So move, Namor, if you value your life. And the damn rocket blows up and destroys the freaking bacteria. And then here's the part that you got mad about.
Yeah, the editor's note there.
Yeah, you'll learn about the full story behind that one in the next issue of Submariner. Natch, whatever that means.
Naturally.
Natch. Superplugger Stan. What is the Megazord?
And that picture of that last panel with him taking off like that.
Yeah. For
a split second, I had a flashback to the Meteor Man movie starring Robert Townsend.
Oh my God.
Because it was basically the same. It was the same costume, except it was like a meat like
and it was
the
like
old
red
Kryptonite meteors from like the 70s.
Yeah, damn it. It's a fight book.
Yeah,
it's a great fight book,
but it's so good.
Yeah, the art's great. It's just a classic fight book from the 60s. I mean, there's a thin little bitty story here. A lot of stuff going on in the periphery. You got Carol Danvers trying to figure out who the hell Captain Marvel is. We don't know why the hell Submariner, or we know why Submariner's going to New York to try and get to the Reed Richards to find out, get his help to go fight his bad guy. Yep. Marvel's upset. He's trying to be a hero and not destroy the world and still be a good Kree soldier. And I mean, there's a lot going on the outside, but you boil it down, it's a big ass fight book, which they were always fun.
Yeah. And the pacing on this and the actual fight was just so phenomenal.
Yeah. I thought that the pacing, I mean, and Colin is awesome.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite Silver Age pencilers.
You got Roy Boy Thomas, and I'm like, I got to look up how old Roy actually is now.
He's in his 70s, late 70s.
Is he?
Yeah.
Because this is the time they were calling him. Once in a while, you'd see the tagline Roy Boy Thomas, and I'm like, did you start working in comics earlier than Jim Shooter did?
I don't think he was earlier than Jim Shooter, but it wasn't but like a year or two after that. I mean, I think he started when he was like 17 or something. And Shooter started, realistically, I think Shooter started when he was like 14, wasn't he? It was crazy. Stupid, like,
prior to child label laws.
Exactly. You could work in comics.
And my friends got to meet Roy Thomas at one of the local big conventions, and they filmed the interaction, of course.
Yeah.
To share with people like me that don't get out as much as they should. And they asked him who his favorite, out of all the characters that he's drawn and created storylines for over the years, who's his favorite character to work on?
Okay.
Hawkman.
Really? And he didn't do a whole lot of Hawkman, but damn. Huh. I would have never figured that.
Well, I know he did a lot of Hawkman in the pages of Justice League and Justice Society, though.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
He did. That's where I think he likes the team dynamic when he gets to work on Hawkman with, other heroes and like B-side people.
And that's the thing me and you were talking about last week with Bendis. You know how when he does so good in that team dynamic because he has other people to bounce ideas for the regular characters off of, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, this is one I picked up primarily because it's got a badass cover. And
yeah, the cover is awesome.
And you know, it's classic. I love those solid covers.
Yeah.
Blue, black,
red. The big purple background because there's so much green.
Yeah.
And only one of them is green behind the gills, and that guy's from outer space, so
damn it. But yeah, it's a great 12 cent. All right, so that was a random pick. Have you got something for next week?
I do.
Uh-oh, what is it?
It's not the one that I told you I read that was really fantastic that Mike Grell did. This is an early DC work of one of the Kubert boys.
Really? Is it before or after they left Marvel?
Before. Because it was like in the 80s.
The Kuberts did a Warlord?
One of the Kuberts did. Take my glasses off so I can read it. This is from 1986. Warlord Annual 5. The Uxmal Encounter written by Michael Fleischer.
Oh, sweet.
And art by Adam Kubert.
It's a cool cover.
Yeah. And it's got great insides. Like this is just like the title page. Warlord created by Mike Grell. This is after Grell like left and started doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And the inside cover is the fan awards for the 1985 Comic Buyer's Guide. It's the ballot inside the cover.
Oh, sweet. I remember those.
And I'm like, I was actually just from voting for it and being like, you know, high-end communication with the awards people for it. The old sci-fi Saturn Awards.
I remember those.
For a time from like the 80s through the 90s, I was actually on the Saturn Award board.
Uh-oh.
Now this starts not in Scaradus, but in like modern day 1986. Like they're on like a tour.
Like of China or something.
In Mexico, like the Aztecs, because I put that together because I just saw that Aztec guy.
Oh, okay.
And bonkers. We're going to go bonkers when we read this book.
Chocolate.
One of the books that I read last week, I think it was the first annual for Warlord, actually had an ad for the old toy. Remember Capsella? It was like these spheres that would like link up, and you could take the things in the tub because they were watertight, and you could make like different kinds of boats and spaceships and stuff. Okay. And they were motorized.
Huh.
So it's kind of like a high-end Lego without all the Lego pieces that you might step on.
Without all the Lego pieces.
But I mean, it's a pretty cool looking book. So it's early Adam Kubert art.
It only gets better from here.
Yep. You know, this is just Now seize him. And there's like, there's a bunch of fighting. I guess they capture Warlord at some point, but I'm like, how bad can it be? It's Michael Fleischner and Adam Kubert.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun read. I remember that commercial, that ad.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't want to show the other page because that's like a major spoiler. But it's, yeah.
So it's annual 1.
This is annual 5.
Annual 5. Dude, that is such a damn good story.
Yep. I just found my set like when I was going through all my boxes.
Yeah.
So probably about 3-4 months ago, I came across the whole, and I started. I go, no, I got stuff to do. I can't sit here and try to read the 6-issue miniseries.
Because I'll read it all at one time.
Yeah, I'll read it all at once. There's a nice like little aftermath. Looks like we have a guest appearance of President Reagan in here.
Damn it.
And an ad on the back cover, 1986 specials and annuals, in case you were wondering how I was going to fit a Star Trek reference into
the show. There's Star Trek annual too.
Star Trek annual, yeah. I used to have all the Marvel and all the DC Star Treks, like the first runs.
Yeah, I had pieces.
And then I ended up selling them off because I bought they started releasing these DVD ROMs.
Yeah.
With the comics on them. So I've got like Amazing Spider-Man 1 through 400. I've got FF 1 through 400. And I've got Star Trek, which includes all the gold keys, all the DC, all the Marvel and DC ones. And like all the other books, like there was some that Whitman put out that were like gold keys, but they were, multiple stories. So like, kind of like an annual, but it was kind of like a hard, like a card stock cover.
Yeah.
And, those were good. And those were fun. I'm like, I thought the Star Trek things were great because I started like seeing Star Trek comics when I was a kid. So now I had new adventures to take my Mego Star Trek crew on. So it wasn't just all about, G.I. Joe and Captain Kirk tag teaming on Uhura or something.
Oh my God.
Don't speak ill of the dead.
Yeah.
Hailing frequencies wasn't the only thing open.
That's the what is it? That that old thing about the Barbie and Ken. He says, Barbie and Ken says, what do you want? A Barbie? The little girl says, I want a Barbie and a G.I. Joe figure. So I thought a Barbie comes with Ken. He said, no, Barbie comes with G.I. Joe. She fakes it with Ken. Anyway, that's terrible. Now that we've been banned from YouTube.
Do you remember I need everybody to go and subscribe / follow us on Rumble for when I actually do get banned from YouTube, because YouTube put like a whole bunch of BS updates in where, another big list of stuff. You can't do this anymore. You can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. Rumble, we can say anything.
Yeah, we're here to be slightly inappropriate and joke about old comic books.
Yeah.
I hope no one yet ever gets offended, but yeah, it happens.
But you know what happens when you get offended? Nothing. You're offended. You move on.
Exactly.
It's like life's too short to stomp your foot and pout for, and I know because I did that for a good portion of it.
Go read some damn comics.
Exactly. Go read some damn comics. So next Thursday, Lord willing, we'll be back and we'll go over the Warlord Annual 5 by Michael Fleischner and Adam Kubert.
Yep.
A very young Adam Kubert.
Very.
Adam's
just out of art
not.
school.
Yeah. He was probably in high school. Daddy, can I draw a comic? Sure. Take Warlord. Since Mike left, nobody's reading it anyhow. I'm kidding. I was reading it.
All right.
But a bump. Alan, thanks for coming by and hanging out. And all the other lurkers that were out there, because I saw we had, at one point, we had like up to 5 people watching. So nobody that wants to press a like button, they just want to watch, or they're listening to us ramble. Rumble.